It is estimated that 20 million people just in America suffer from thyroid disease. We turn to conventional medicine for relief and support, and it seems like we are not getting that. But why is that? That is something that we will be discussing in today's episode.
1, 2, 3, go!
Hey, what's up everyone? So from a person that suffered from thyroid disease, Hashimoto's autoimmune disease, I can totally relate to those that go to conventional medicine for relief. You try to get the help that you need. You're really let down because you're still not feeling better. So you're confused of what to do now. A little explanation of why this can be happening to you is conventional medicine really developed this pill popping approach. You go to the doctor, they prescribe you a pill based on your lab results, and it's really not helping many people. People don't know why. They don't know what else to do from there because that is the only option when you go to the doctors when it comes to conventional medicine. We'll just say here that conventional medicine is not always a bad thing. This medicine can definitely save lives, but for those that are suffering from thyroid disease, when they go see an endocrinologist, they have a very hard time. One of the reasons is because most conventional medicine, they try to suppress your symptoms. Our goal is we want to take away our symptoms. We want to eliminate these symptoms. We don't want to deal with weight gain and weight loss. We don't want to deal with constant headaches and brain fog and fatigue, all those symptoms that you get when you suffer from thyroid disease. So when you go to an endocrinologist and you get a pill for, your thyroid disease, if you do not have a thyroid and you were talked into getting surgery and getting your thyroid taken out, unfortunately, you do have to be on that pill for the rest of your life. But for someone that does have a thyroid and they are taking medication, what they are doing is suppressing their symptoms. Even if you don't have a thyroid, you still are suppressing your symptoms. There is still a root cause. So symptoms are just the body's way of telling you something is wrong. And this has been a big thing for many people when it comes to suppressing their symptoms. That has been the main goal in conventional medicine. You get a headache and you take a Tylenol, and it's really not treating the root cause. There could be a bunch of different reasons why you have that headache. You could be not sleeping enough. You can be very stressed. You could be dehydrated, but that's not what's being treated. You're taking a Tylenol and just suppressing that symptom, really not getting to the root cause. So if you are dehydrated and you continue to be dehydrated until the next day, you're going to have to take that pill again because you're not really treating that root cause. With conventional medicine, you may find some relief, but the great thing about developing new information is people are waking up. People are realizing that they can heal their body and understanding natural medicine. They are telling themselves that they do not want to take a pill the rest of their life, and they are seeing more and more people healing their body naturally, and they are interested to know what to do but don't know where to start. And when you try to go to your conventional doctor to talk to them about natural healing, they disregard what you say. There's not a lot of conventional doctors that want to discuss any type of nutrition or natural healing with you when you go to your appointment. Granted, there are some doctors that are actually becoming more conscious to this and seeing that this is a great way to implement healing and are trying to do that as much as possible, but it's slim to none when it comes to those that are accepting that holistic medicine can definitely help your body. So the big difference between holistic medicine and conventional medicine is when you go to see your endocrinologist, they are not going to treat you as a whole. So if you have a problem, you see your endocrinologist. If you have a problem with your digestive system, you go see a gastrologist. There is not a doctor in conventional medicine that is going to look at your whole body. So no matter what symptoms you have from what area of your body, there's always a doctor for each symptom. That could be very confusing because your body has to be treated as a whole. Your gut, your adrenals, your liver, all those different organs work with your thyroid. If there's a problem with any of those organs, then you will definitely have a problem with your thyroid. But conventional medicine doesn't recognize that. Most people that have thyroid issues have an issue with their gut. When they're not addressing these things, they're not treating your body as a whole, and this could lead to many problems. One being misdiagnosis. So not being diagnosed when you should be. Another one is being diagnosed, but then you're put on the wrong dosage of medication. When you go to your endocrinologist, you will be getting tested for your thyroid. Now, not all the time will they do all the correct testing. I know a lot of people that I talk to do not get all the right testing because their doctors refuse to test all of the panels, which all the panels need to be tested for you to get an accurate result. So your TSH, your free T3, your free T4, reverse T3, TPO, and your TGAB are the main ones you want to get tested in the beginning. And most doctors will not test them all. And that right there is not giving you an accurate diagnosis, and why a lot of people are misdiagnosed. For me personally, I wasn't diagnosed for a whole entire year. I had all the symptoms that you can think of, and when I actually went to check my results, when I learned more about thyroid testing and I learned more about optimal ranges, I realized that the whole entire time I had a thyroid problem, but they were not catching it. So why were they not catching it? They were going by lab ranges that were incorrect. So how can the lab ranges be incorrect? Well, when you get your thyroid tested, you don't go to get your thyroid tested unless you have some type of problem, unless you have some type of symptom, unless there is something wrong with your thyroid. When you go to get these tests, most people that are getting them done are sick. The labs are taking a population of those that are sick and forming lab ranges. The lab ranges are so wide that they are not accurately diagnosing people. For one example, TSH has been the most known test when it comes to thyroid disease. That alone can't diagnose you, but it could give you some clues. But with TSH, the lab range that you might get back from your doctor is between 0.5 to maybe 4 or 5. That's extremely wide. Anything over 2.5, there is a percent chance that you higher your risk of having a heart attack. You also are out of range if you're anything over 2.5. So if you have a TSH that is 3 or 4, you're not going to be diagnosed as something's wrong because you're in that range, even though you are not in the optimal range. The optimal range meaning what your thyroid should be functioning at, what a healthy thyroid should be functioning at. So that can lead to misdiagnosis. Not only are you being misdiagnosed, but they are using that same exact lab ranges to prescribe you your medication. This is why so many people are on medication and they don't feel good, because medication was designed to help your thyroid create hormones to give you that little bit of boost. It wasn't for a hormone replacement forever, but it really should help you. If you're not getting relief on medication, then it's being that you're either overdosing or you're underdosing. There is a definite reason why you are not getting the relief that you need. And so really looking into your lab ranges and being your own doctor at this point and finding if you're in optimal range is so important for your thyroid healing, and why many people have problems with their conventional doctor. Another thing that we see is when we go to the doctors, we really only get about a 15-minute appointment at most with our doctor. Now, 15 minutes, when you don't see a doctor for usually about 3 months, when you have a thyroid problem, the endocrinologist typically tells you, wait 3 months to see me again. Some people even have to wait a year. So in about 15 minutes, you have to explain what has been going on with your body for 3 months now. That is not a long enough appointment and doesn't give you the accurate time for you to explain what's going on. Not only that, but your appointments are super structured, so they're not individualized. They're not sitting down with you asking the list of your symptoms. How has your lifestyle changed? Have you made any diet changes? They just look at your lab ranges and say, okay, we need to change your dose, either up it or lower it. That is a big problem because you're not getting the proper individualized care that you need. Even though we may all have thyroid disease, we may all suffer from similar symptoms, but our body is so different. So the individual treatment and the care that we need may be different from another person. This is why it's so important to base the treatment off your symptoms, off your specific lifestyle. Everyone's lifestyle is different. Not everyone has the same level of stress. So this leads to treatment. We are all being treated with the pill, and that may not work for everyone, especially if we're not getting the right dosage that we need. And doctors don't seem to be very open to different types of treatment. So I have many conversations with those that suffer from thyroid disease that tell me that they went to the doctor and they told them that they took gluten out, or they did this or they did that with their lifestyle, and they changed certain things and they feel so much better, and that they want to start reducing medication. They feel that is something that they need to do. That is something that I did myself. And it seems like many doctors refuse to believe that any other way can help your treatments other than the medication. So unfortunately, I had to remove medication on my own. I did not have an okay from my doctor. I didn't have the support from my doctor. And most people won't. If you try to tell your doctor that you're making all these different lifestyle changes and you found the root cause, they're typically not going to support that. And I can't really speak upon why the doctors are so adamant about pushing medication. There is a lot of different opinions out there, and that could be a conversation for another episode, because we have a lot of things going on in the world when it comes to pharmaceuticals and pushing medication on people that are sick. It's very unfortunate and can get pretty deep. And at the end of the day, you really just want to eliminate your symptoms. You want to feel better. You want to be able to function properly. Even though your conventional doctor may not support what you're doing, there is a way that you can definitely form healing. I for sure removed medication because I do have a thyroid. I healed my thyroid. I reversed my autoimmune disease. I suffered from so many symptoms. I lost about 30 pounds within the first month that I was sick, and it wasn't a good 30 pounds. I looked skin and bones, and I looked very sickly. I had so many symptoms, from hair loss, fatigue, and I was going back between hyper and hypo. So one day I would wake up and be very jittery and anxiety prone, have 8 panic attacks a day, not be able to think straight, dizzy, vertigo, all of that. And then the next day I can't even get out of bed because I'm that tired. And when it comes to that many symptoms all in one day, it really changes your life. I had to actually leave a prior job at 23 years old because I wasn't able to even do my job duties based on all the symptoms I was suffering from. I just wasn't a reliable person. So at that time, all I wanted was my symptoms to go away. Unfortunately, I did not find any support with my conventional doctor. I went to many different doctors, from in my state to out of my state, and I just didn't find the relief that I needed. I needed to take my health in my own hands. I read a lot of books. I treated myself as like a guinea pig, but finally I got everything under control, and that led me to wanting to go to holistic practitioner classes and get more information about this so I can help everyone else. With my tips on how you can start your healing journey and what you can start doing to just track what's going on is listening to your body. You know your body best. No one knows your body better than you. Not your family, not your friends, not your doctors. You know if something's not right. So really paying attention to your body. If you have been on medication for years, or if you have been on medication for even months and months and you still don't feel better, being consciously aware of what's going on in your body is key to healing. Journaling is another key thing. I definitely can look back in my journals and see how bad I suffered and really see the big change. I do have a journal that if you go to conceptsoifeandwellness.com and just search Thyroid Progress Journal, so the journal will basically break down into monthly and daily. You can track your medication dose, your thyroid labs, seeing if you're in optimal range. I also have the optimal ranges in there, so you can track if you're in range, whether you're hypo or hyper, your symptoms, your daily water intake, your sleep patterns, what you're eating. It's really great to have this all down because you can look back on what you're doing wrong, or you can look back on what you're doing right and what's helping, just to give yourself a pat on the back, even if you eliminate one symptom. That matters. The next thing is diet, really making sure that you eliminate all processed foods. So I do have a thyroid healing community, which has a thyroid healing course, and you can find that also at conceptsoifeandwellness.com, and right in the menu, it's under membership. I teach about the triggering foods that lead to thyroid disease and autoimmune disease as well. And there are certain foods that you definitely want to remove, like gluten and soy, but the big things are processed foods. You definitely want to remove any type of processed foods because it is releasing toxins into your body, and an overload of toxins lead to a sluggish liver. I always say if you're not already doing so, remove processed foods. Just along with removing processed foods, you want to try to remove toxic chemicals. So just like I said, the liver tries to eliminate and detoxify all the toxins out of your body. That also goes for anything you're putting onto your skin. It's okay if you don't know where to start, because I was there too. I grew up on a lot of generic products, so those weren't the healthiest, and I didn't know any better. So I would really recommend the EWG website. It's Environmental Science Working Group, and EWG.org. You can look what's in products based on brands, so foods and household products or skincare products. You can actually go on there and type in the brand, and it will tell you how toxic it is for your body, what type of things that it causes, whether it causes cancer or autoimmune issues. And that really helped me a ton when I was on my healing journey and I did not know where to start. That was like the key thing. I was sitting there with every single thing I bought, looked it up to make sure it was clean and good for me. Definitely recommend doing that. And lastly, I really think sticking to what works for you is so important. And if you see online or you talk to another person that same thing didn't work for them, that doesn't mean that it's wrong. We are in this era that we want to Google everything. We want to go online and see what other people are doing, but we're not realizing that our body is so different from one another. And so something might work for you and not work for another person. So if it's working for you, continue to do that no matter what anyone says, no matter what your doctor says, no matter what anyone tells you, continue to do what works for you. So I do talk to people that have been sick for many years, 10 years or more. And when they hear about natural healing, they're a little bit taken back because they have been told all these years that there's nothing you could do. You have to be on the pill the rest of your life. And so some people are really eager to try this natural healing and some people are just not so willing. It can cause a lot of anger and frustration for someone that has been struggling for so long. They wish they have gotten these answers in the beginning of their journey. I have so many people that reach out on social media and say, I wish I found your social media before I decided to remove my thyroid. I had no clue what was going on. I never was told all the different things that can happen after I remove my thyroid. I was never told that I would have to be on medication the rest of my life. I was never really sat down and explained the full situation. I was just told I need to remove my thyroid. So when it comes to healing your thyroid, keep an open mind. Know that some of these things are really coming out now because many people are being more consciously aware. People are starting to see that treating their body based on how they are feeling, listening to their body, and the healthcare that we are getting from our conventional doctors are not cutting it. We're still feeling symptoms, we're still suffering, and we want to know why. I will be going over more information about thyroid disease in future episodes. And if you want to join a community that is very serious about healing their thyroid, you can find that at conceptslifeandwellness.com and under membership. And it will give you all the information about the thyroid healing community. We have monthly articles, monthly videos. We have the thyroid healing course in there. I do one-on-ones with people, Q&As with others. It gives you the information that you need to take control of your life, to be your own doctor, to find out what is causing your issue and treating your root cause, because that is what is going to lead to healing. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast and I will talk to you soon.